Welcome back, everyone. We have here something new. Well, it's not entirely new. I already have a number of cables from WBC Pro, speaker cables. I think I did an unboxing of that last year. I'm sorry, I still haven't gotten around to comparing it to the Nordist and various other things that I've got, but I still do plan on doing that. What I've got today is I normally run XLRs for my main system over to my amplifier to drive my speakers, the Cornwalls, and I'm doing some changing around of things just for the sake of testing, and I needed to go RCA instead of XLR. It's about a 15-foot run, and I didn't have anything else handy, so I thought I would get a new set of cables here. So this is the WBC Pro RCA, and you'll notice that it is 14 picofarads per foot. This is always fun. Attention, please allow 175 hours of burn-in time. I'm guessing they assume that once you've got to the point where you think you might have 175 hours, you're not going to be bothered to ever send it back. Not to say that people haven't lied and said, hey, I've just decided I don't want their cable, but overall it just seems interesting. And I have done set up something that's going to be an interesting test. At one point I needed an RCA cable for them, so I actually bought two. I hooked up the one and I've been using it for probably 6 months now, and the other one is just sitting in a cupboard. And at some point I am going to say, there, I must have gotten 175 hours from the first cable already, and then I'm going to pull out the unused cable. I'm going to compare the two and see, is there really a burn-in effect? Because to be honest, I've never experienced such a thing myself. So we are doing an actual test, boys and girls, so there you go. Generally speaking, I do like the WBC Pro cables and the world's best cable, which is what I was buying for the most part before then. You'll notice this is nicely put together, a cute little bow on here holding everything together. We can take the bow off, and you know what, they've actually got it tied on, is it? No, it's going to come off here eventually. There we go. Coming off, lovely. So it all comes apart, and then this part comes apart, and then you have to rip this open. Oh, and then they've got more cables in the other, or more bows on the other side. Anyway, you'll also notice they have very nice covers on the connectors. These are very good Amphenol connectors. White and red. It's LoCap cable, and I suspect that these probably are also directional. Are these ones directional? No, these ones are not directional. So some of their cables are directional, some are not. I'm kind of surprised that these ones aren't, because I have got some of their RCAs that are directional, so that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure why these ones are not. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to share with you, beyond just sort of saying that, hey, there's a cable. It's got a nice braid on the outside, and it's nice and thick. If you're wondering how they achieved this, at one point I bought, let me grab it over here, I bought one of their cables because I wanted to make another cable, so I thought I would share with you how they've made this cable up, which is kind of neat. You'll notice, of course, there's the braid on the outside. They have a fairly thin layer of a conductor that covers the shield, and here's the shield here. On the shield, of course, I've twisted up there. And then they have this very funny little spudgy, I'm not sure, it almost feels a little bit like very firm styrofoam is what it looks like. And what they end up doing, and this is how they achieve the very low capacitance, is they have a fairly big distance from the shield into the inner conductor. So that's how they're doing it, and that's the basic makeup. In terms of how these things are put together, if you've never unscrewed one of these and taken a look inside, let's do that now. And you can see that it's a pretty well-made Amphenol connector. It's coming in, cable clamp there. We can pull this down, so they've got it clamped down on the shield there, and the shield is just wired in and soldered in at that point. And then, of course, this big spudgy thing here in the middle comes up, and they've got it soldered into the inside. So a fairly neat and tidy job they've done of these connectors. So for the most part, they seem to build really good cables. I just get a good chuckle when I see these 175 hours of burn-in, but we are testing that and we'll see what happens. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and of course, as usual, I love it when you like the videos, and if you have comments, I'm always interested in comments, positive or negative, doesn't matter. I always appreciate everybody's insight because everybody's got something interesting to say on the subject. Anyway, there you go, new set of cables. Bye for now.